So I'm Pastor Amanda. I have First Corinthians Church here in Madison, Wisconsin. Our heart's position for our church is that of AODA, domestic abuse, sexual assault. And so we want to anchor in a commitment of never being a steeple church, but always a grassroots. We want to bridge the gap between the hurting community and the ones that have maybe never experienced that kind of thing or have battled beyond it to create a holistic healing. We want the mind, body, spirit, soul, and community all healing and being brought together, right? So that's our approach. Through the course of, honestly, God's connections, as he's taken someone who's by all rights not the cookie cutter mold, not what anyone would assume as a pastor or as a, opening a church, which he told me go, and 6 days later it was open in the back of a Culver's. We're in the trenches with these individuals already. We're neck deep in this, but there's got to be more to it, and we need to be able to lock arms to be able to be sustainable with this. And so I ended up hearing about you guys, and I showed up to one of the events that was the quarter meeting. And that was absolutely amazing because not only did it allow me the opportunity to get to know the community a little bit further, but it was very specific in introducing me to other ministries in the area that aren't maybe well known or that I hadn't thought to think of even, and looking at that and wanting to take a very intentional approach as to how do we build a web so that as we come across people, all needs are being met, both the tangible, the spiritual, whatever that looks like, that we can filter to and from each other, because ultimately we are all serving the same God with the same mission to save lives, to save souls from the enemy's camp. And together is the only way that we're going to be able to do that sustainably without us being so worn out and without us realizing after the fact that we maybe dropped something through the cracks, right? We don't all have all the resources to do what needs to be done for all of these people, but together we can move a beach with a grain of sand apiece. It's amazing to be able to have a resource where you can go and you can see, like, these individuals are absolutely anointed. They are 100% steeped in the Holy Spirit. You have that confidence that whatever the teaching is, I know that I'm being led correctly, right? And then the ability to say, okay, what am I doing, as a pastor? And for my husband, what am I doing as, an individual in the community? How is this matching, and where can I elevate, and how do I lean in to learning different ways? Because a lot of times it's just a conversation of what works and what doesn't, right? And to have that, to kind of put those little nuggets of, oh, well, I tried this way, or you know what, maybe if you think about it like this, and just those small tweaks can make all the difference in the trajectory of a ministry, and how you present yourself and how you are able to make those connections with those individuals. And so that was probably the coolest part about it so far. So April 22nd was your event, and today is May 29th. Okay, that's a very small window of opportunity. And in that time, the trajectory of our ministry, the connection, the planning, the executing, the numbers, the volume, the locking of arms has skyrocketed. So much so, it's a God thing. It's only through being a God thing. But had I not been here, I wouldn't have had that first spark that God needed to set the whole thing in motion. And because of that, led to this massive God wink, right? We have an event, the United Churches Against Violence and Financial Poverty here in Madison, that is truly going to encompass everything that Madison Givers, everything that we're in here trying to figure out, everything that our heart's position is. It's putting it in one place at one time, all together, for Madison's community to be able to finally receive. United Churches Against Violence and Financial Poverty will be hosting a Dane County event for free June 28th at Elverd Park from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. We're going to have all kinds of food, fun, games, music, worship, message, and so many community outreach programs, ministries, and resources available to you right on spot to love on you and to meet your needs as a community right where you're at. So come on out and let's worship together. Let's get to know each other. It's a safe environment, family friendly, to just be and learn to thrive. Now we've got a gentleman who owns a barbershop who's going to do free haircuts during the event. We've got a food pantry that's going to be passing out lunches for take home, despite the fact that we are bringing food, right, for the event itself. They're going to be bringing their mobile pantry to send them off with it. Love First, that is going to be bringing a table to pass out clothes for free. God veered us. Sharp right turn from food, games, music, message, cool, it's an event, to food, games, music, message, and how do we meet your needs? How do we build the trust? How do we continue to bridge the gap? And how do we make sure that you are aware that the sustainable life changes that are needed, right? That we're hungry for as a community, right? We're a hurting community, hungry for something more, hungry for deliverance, but often lost and isolated as to how we're going to get there. And so now there's one place that they can come and receive all of that as they walk out the doors. They are no longer alone and isolated. Their needs are met, but they're not just getting fed for a day. They're given sustainable, thriving forward. And that's what it's all about. All wrapped up in the love of Christ, right? Like just all wrapped up in Dad's love. So what do you do? Like, how can you not just love on that?